Hello and welcome to my December budget and cash stuffing video. So I'm going to be stuffing all of my sinking funds today, as well as the envelopes I bring with me on a day-to-day basis in my wallet. So yeah, let's jump into it. Like I said in my previous cash stuffing video, December and November are kind of like trial periods to see if this is the type of video that other people want to see on my channel. I am planning to do this kind of budgeting system for 2021, regardless of if I film or not. I got a lot of positive feedback on my last video, so if you are interested in seeing this video continue to roll through my channel on a monthly basis, please give it a big thumbs up, because yeah, it just gives me a good indication that people are interested. So with that said, let's jump in. So we're going to be working with my income from November, which was a total of $12,912.57. So that was the gross income. You would have seen my income, like how much I made in my monthly November update for my no buy low buy. However, what I'm going to do is minus the 25% like last time for my taxes, so that gives me a net income of $9,684.43. Now, because this is a much higher earning month, I've decided to save 80% and work with 20%. Usually I would probably save 70% and budget out 30%, but just because this is a much higher figure, it still is pretty generous amount to be working with, just like when it's 20% of my income. And that's plenty for me to, yeah, stuff all the sinking funds I want to, as well as have the allocated amounts I need for my like monthly outgoing expenses that I know are going to occur anyway. So we're going to be working with 20% of my $9,684.43 is $1,936.89. So I'm going to be keeping a portion of that in the bank, because for me it doesn't really make sense to get out cash to then put it back in the bank, because actually I need to make those expenses come off my card. So I have $495 for my bills, $200 for gas, and $50 for eating out with my client if I have some meals out with them during the month. So that's staying on my card. So this figure here minus the ones that I'm keeping in the bank gives me a total of $1,190. It was like $1,191.80 something cents, but I'm scrapping that, so it's $1,190. Now, I am super happy about this, but I actually have a rollover from last month. That was the first time of me doing this budget of using cash, and I already saw a big difference in my normal outgoing spendings around eating out and groceries, where I saved quite a bit. So I do have this rollover of $150, which $155 rather, that I will get out of my wallet now, because it is in these little envelopes. So for eating out, this is usually a category where I spend loads and loads of money, and I usually go way over the 200, but I actually have 55 left from the month of November, so I'm very happy about that. Groceries, I also came under budget with $45 left, which is also an awesome achievement. Wait, this is going to be all messy, but that's alright, they're going to get stuffed in a minute. Miscellaneous, I came under budget as well with 25 left over. This is just not going to stay pretty, is it? And then I have my cat. I came under budget with her as well. That wasn't really like I was trying to. I just ended up having extra food and things, so I didn't have to pay very much for her in the month of November, but I will have to pay a bit more in December. So that was $155 of rollover that was in my everyday envelopes, and the amount that I originally budgeted last month that I have the leftover from was the same as this here. So $200 for eating out, $200 for groceries, $40 for my cat, and $80 for miscellaneous. So I am really happy with that, just to see how quickly switching to cash and just putting a little bit more effort into my budgeting pays off really fast. It was really good to see that. So anyway, let's just jump straight in. I've got my little envelopes here. I'm going to start with eating out first. So like last month, we're going to have a hold envelope and then the one that actually goes into my wallet, because I don't want to have loads of cash on me at once. So I'm going to be putting $50 into my little envelope for my wallet, which will go in here, and then I'm going to be putting $150 into the bigger one. So there we go, that's $200 in total. So this one, yeah, just gets put to the side and I keep it home, and then I update my little one once a week, sort of once I get through my $50 allowance per week, just because I don't want to be carrying like upwards of $500+ in my wallet. It just doesn't feel very safe. So that's eating out done. We're going to do groceries next. So same situation as eating out. We're going to be putting 150 in the bigger hold wallet and then 50 in the small one. So that's 50 here. And then, oh, that one doesn't want to go in. There we go. And then we've got 150 to go in the hold envelope. There we go. We've got my cat, so that is 40 for her. I think I will just do 220s for that one. So this month, yeah, last month with my cat, I only bought her food once because I had lots of leftover that I was trying to get through. But this month I know I will have a bit more expenses. Miscellaneous, we're going to be doing 80, so 50, 60, 70, 80. So that's just because I'm still working my head around this budgeting thing, and I just like having this miscellaneous as a little buffer in case, I don't know, other expenses come up that are not really a part of my budget or I haven't really given a category to yet. So that is my envelopes. I'm going to pop them back in my wallet. So that is just the ones that I bring with me on a day-to-day basis, and I know are definitely going to be expenses that come up throughout the week. So that one is now finished. We're going to be moving on to all my sinking funds. So let's start with travel. I'll pop my laptop at the bottom, actually, it doesn't belong there. We've got travel. I'm going to be putting 80 into this one because me and my friend are planning to do a road trip in February. Now, what I have done differently from last month is I have printed off these tracking slips. So I just thought that this would be a good way to keep a track of how much is in my different sinking funds. And I've gone ahead and pre-filled them for the month of December just because I didn't feel like I would just waste people's time by writing it all out on camera, and also I knew that I'd make mistakes if I was under the pressure of like doing that while filming. So I've just gone ahead and pre-filled the monthly ad. So this travel fund now has $110 in it. So that's the first one done. The next is experiences. This one I'm adding quite a bit to. I am adding 140, and that's just because I know there's a few things that I'm going to be doing during the month of December. I'm going to see like a ballet performance, and yeah, just around the Christmas time there's usually more things that happen. So we've got $140, and then we have, actually that's right, we have nothing left in experiences, so I did use that up all last month. Now what I am doing is I'm actually going to be tracking each thing I put on every little expense I spend. I'm going to be putting it on here, and if during the month I do go like negative, I overspend, I am going to put it on this slip so that I do have to pay myself back, and that's going to really encourage me to not overspend on any category. So this month I'm adding in 140. However, I owe myself $7 because I went into the negative of $7 last month. So I'm just actually going to put $10 aside, and I'm only going to be putting in the 130. That way I pay myself back. I hope that makes sense. It's just how I feel like doing it. It might be a bit confusing for some people, but it's sort of my personal way of keeping accountable. So that is experiences. Now, when I'm putting it aside, I've actually created this extra envelope which I'm calling my bank, and I'm going to be using this as sort of like a in-between place for cash. So if I spend anything on my card that's from my sinking funds or it's from my envelopes that I have in my wallet, what I'll do is take the equivalent in cash that I spent on my card and put it back here in the bank envelope. Now this could potentially be deposited in my account. I think what I'm going to do is actually just keep it out because obviously each month I'm going to be having to get out cash to do the stuffings anyway, but this is just going to be the metaphorical bank. So that's new from last time as well, and that's how I'm kind of dealing with the paying myself back. And also, you know, if I do use my card, especially during COVID time, I think it is often that people are using card rather than cash. So that's just some way that I am doing it if I end up in a place where they won't accept cash for whatever reason. So the next envelope I have is another new one. It is my moving fund. So I have been accepted back into my study program in the States. I am now just waiting on getting all my documentation together to get there. The plan will be to fly out end of February, beginning of March, depending on what kind of happens in terms of getting all that information together. So I am going to start saving for the move, which I'm really excited about. So this is going to get $50. This is the first time I'm adding to this sinking fund. I'm very fortunate that for my birthday, my mum has decided to pay for my flight with her points to get me to the States, so I don't have to save up for the flight ticket. However, there's going to be like other transport around the big main flight that I have to take, so I will save up for that, and also any expenses I have to put out in terms of getting a medical certificate signed off on, and also getting any visa documentation together, etc., etc. So there are just some expenses that will be associated. So that is what this sinking fund is going to be for. I'm really looking forward to that. The next we have is self-care. I am adding 20 to that one. I don't know, I didn't use any of self-care last month, so this is just one that I'm building up to, like maybe go through, have a massage or do something really lovely for myself. So that's that one. The next is clothing. Now, I did spend everything in clothing last month. I budgeted $100, but yeah, all of that is gone, and I'm going to be adding 60 this month. Yeah, I think if you also watch my low buy updates, you'll see where a lot of the money goes specifically if you're interested, and I do talk about each category and how much I spend in it per month. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with myself. The next is toiletries, so I've decided to put 10 in here, which I will do with a $10 note. So now we have 20 in toiletries, so 2 5s and 1 10. Let me know if this is something as well. Like, I see this often on cash stuffing videos, but I don't really know if people are interested in it. If you want me to count my sinking funds each time, I feel like it just becomes a little bit repetitive, but if it is something people want to see, let me know down in the comments as well. So gifts, this is going to be a big one. I'm adding $310. So how are we going to do that? We're going to go 50 to 20. Well, no, probably like this actually. And a 10. Well, no, I'm going to have to break that down because I've got to pay myself back. So 300 and that plus 10. So gifts is another one where I kind of or have already spent something in, if that makes sense. So first of all, we have this here where I went over budget by $15. So I bought my friend some ice cream because she wasn't feeling well, so I'm going to pay myself back $15. Then I've added my monthly ad of 310, so that brings me to $295, which I do have here. Two $100 notes, a 50, 2 20s, and a 5. However, I've already ordered some books online, like literally today, so I have to pay myself back another 100. So that means I'm going to have $195 left for Christmas and for gifts. So we've got 150, 95. So 195 goes in there. I hope this is something that people can follow and I haven't just made a system that's like completely confusing. So that will go back in my bank like I explained before. So we'll put that one to the side. The next is health. I'm going to be putting $100 in health. This was one that I did spend quite a bit in during the month of November, but I still have 70 left over. So we've got 100, 50, 60, 70. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how quickly like going to the physio and the dentist and things like that can add up. So we've got 100 there. My car is going to be getting 10. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with this sinking fund, just because if I do leave the country, my rego isn't due until after I would have already left. So I'm still figuring out if I'm gonna have to pay out for that, because it's kind of my car, but I do have family, friends and stuff who visit the country who then use it. So I might just pay the rego anyway, so it's useful for other people. I'm not sure yet. That's yet to be determined. The next is miscellaneous. I am adding 25 to this one. So I'll pop that in there, and there's already 10. So we've got 35 in miscellaneous. The next is my laptop. for 20, which is the rest of the cash that I have here, which it makes me very happy because it means I have done all of my calculations correctly and I got the right amount of cash together for this video. So there we go. That is all of my sinking fund stuffing as well as my everyday carry ones. I know it's a little bit odd with my sinking funds because I guess some of my sinking funds I am using as well, but I am still calling them sinking funds because whatever's left over I want to build up and roll over, and I'm still trying to work it out. So I guess that relates to sort of experiences, and last month I did use clothing and gifts, but also gifts is kind of only being used a lot at the moment because of the time of the year. So I'm going to be popping these in here to store them, and I have lost my little clippy clip that goes there, but somewhere. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!